Hi, good morning, everyone. Okay, so let's start our daily briefing now. So today is 2nd August, so it's Monday. Okay, so let's start our morning, our daily briefing with the recap of previous important economic data. So the first one is Germany GDP growth rate yearly flash Q2. Okay, so the previous is negative 3.1%, the forecast is 9.6%, and the actual is 9.2%, which is slightly lower than the forecast. So the euro dollar should be taken as negative or bearish. Okay, so the next one is EA inflation rate yearly flash July. Okay, so the previous is 1.9%, the forecast is 2.0%, the actual is 2.2%, which is slightly higher than the forecast. So the euro dollar should be taken as positive. Okay, so the next one is the EA GDP growth rate yearly flash Q2. So the previous is negative 1.3%. The forecast is 13.2%, and the actual is 13.7%, which is higher than the forecast. So the euro dollar should be taken as as positive. So because it is higher than the forecast. Okay, so the next one is US PCE price index yearly June. The previous is 4%. The actual is also same 4%. There are no forecasts. Okay, so this one didn't bring much market volatility for the US dollar. Okay, so the next one is Canada GDP Monthly May. Okay, so the previous is negative 0.5%. The forecast is negative 0.3%. The actual is negative 0.3%, same as the forecast. So this one didn't bring much market volatility to the Canadian dollar. So the next one is US. The last one is US Michigan consumer sentiment final July. So the previous is 85.5. The forecast is 80.8, and the actual is 61.2. Okay, so this one is actually bring good news to USD because it is higher. The actual is higher than the forecast. And we go back to the market graph here. The US dollar index is actually went up. Okay, went up at last Friday night. So because of this economic data. Okay, so the next part is the recap on market volatility on last Friday. Okay, so the market volatility is declined more than 200 pips. So the market volatility factor here. So we read here what happened on last Friday. So the price of gold fell last Friday. Spot gold fell 0.76%, the biggest drop in the past 2 weeks, closing at $1814.19 per ounce. So the US dollar strengthened due to the strong personal spending data in the United States, and Brett hawkish speech boosted the dollar's trend. So that's the reason. That's the reason why the gold fell down on last Friday. Okay. So the next part is for the important economy today. Okay, and important economic data today. So when it comes to EU section, we have to take focus on these economic data that I talk about: the euro dollar, Swiss francs, and the pound. Okay, so the first one, the Germany retail sales yearly June. So the previous is negative 2.4%. The forecast is negative 2.2%. The data release time is at 2 o'clock later. Okay, so a higher than expected reading should be taken as positive or bullish for the euro dollar, while a lower than expected reading should be taken as negative or bearish for the euro dollar. So the next one is Swiss franc, the Switzerland retail sales yearly June. So the previous is 2.8%. The forecast is remain unknown. Okay, so a higher than previous reading should be taken as positive or bullish for the Swiss franc. So while a lower than expected reading, while than previous reading should be taken as negative or bearish for the Swiss franc. So the next one is Switzerland inflation rate yearly July. So the previous is 0.6%. The forecast is 0.7%. The data release time is at 2:30 later. Okay, so we should take note on this one. The impact on the currency may go both ways. A rise in CPI may lead to a rise in interest rates and a rise in local currency. On the other hand, during economic recession, okay, a rise in CPI may lead to a deepened recession and therefore a fall in local currency. So we have to take note on this inflation rate. This is very important for you. So the next one is Germany. Germany market manufacturing PMI final July. The previous is 65.1. The forecast is 65.6. The data release time is at 3:55 later. Okay, so a higher than expected reading should be taken as positive or bullish for the euro dollar, while a lower than expected reading should be taken as negative or bearish for the euro dollar. Okay, so the last one of EU section of important EU section economic data today. So is UK market CIPS manufacturing PMI final July. So the previous is 63.9. The forecast is 60.4. The data release time is at 4:30 today in the afternoon. Okay, so a higher than expected reading should be taken as positive or bullish for the GBP, I mean Great Britain pound. So a lower than expected reading should be taken as negative or bearish for the GBP. Okay, so when come to US session tonight, okay, there are two important economic data we have to focus. So the first one is US market manufacturing PMI final July. So the previous is 62.1. The forecast is 63.1. Okay, so the data release time is at 9:45 tonight. So a higher than expected reading should be taken as positive or bullish for the USD, while a lower than expected reading should be taken as negative or bearish for the USD. Okay, so the last one of the important economy today is economic data today is the US ISM manufacturing PMI July. Okay, so the previous is 60.6 and the forecast is 60.9. So data release time is at 10 o'clock today. Okay, tonight. So when come to so this one higher than expected reading should be taken as positive or bullish for the USD. So while a lower than expected reading should be taken as negative or bearish for the USD. So in the US section tonight, so there are two important economic data. They are all talk about the US dollar. So if any of your client trading about trading any trading instrument about regarding the US dollar, they have to take note on these two. Take focus on these two important economic data. Okay, so when come to market update for gold today, so the resistance level of today is 1823. The support level is 1803. Okay, so my personal opinion for today is we'll take it as a bullish. Okay, so let us read the factors here why I will take it as bullish for today. Okay, and also for this week, not just only today, for this week too. Okay, bullish for this week. Okay, so after hearing a sentence from Fed Chairman Powell, Wall Street analysts' views on the gold market completely changed. So Powell said that the US economy has not yet made substantial further progress. So there is no reason to slow down its bond purchase plan. So with the price of gold expected to close near the 6-week high, market analysts did not cast a bearish vote in the latest Kitco News Weekly Gold Survey. So a sharp reversal from last week's firm bearish sentiment. So analysts' comments indicate that the reversal of the gold price is due to the Fed's follow-up to Powell's more moderate than expected remarks. Okay, so more and more evidence show that the investors are also aware that the world's major central banks, including the Federal Reserve, will not rush to tighten monetary policy. So the Fed will continue to increase its balance sheet despite claims of reduction. So all the news here are very good for gold. That's why I will take the gold price will go up further and not go down further. Okay, so this week we'll focus on Friday's NFP employment data, EIA initial jobless claims, okay, US manufacturing and non-manufacturing PMIs, and also the most importantly, the Reserve Bank of Australia and the Bank of England will announce interest rate decision in this week too. Okay, so they are all for forex part we're done here. So the next part is the weekly important US and EU shares for this week. So there are quite a lot of companies that are releasing their annual reports in this week. So including there are some companies from Hong Kong shares and also the EU share and US share. Okay. So but I do a small report. I do a small research regarding the Alibaba Group holdings and also the Uber technologies. Okay, so let's take a look on the Alibaba, the first one. Okay, so actually all the news here is actually very quite long here, so I will read here in the briefing here. So I hope you guys will take a look on this. Hope this is actually very good news and talking about Alibaba. Okay, actually this one is not really good to Alibaba Group. So so when come to the come to the macro graph for today, so we will look for further downside. Some more the technical analysis, we can see that actually the price of Alibaba is break out the support line here, so we will look for further downside. But the target we will put at 1885 first. Okay, so the next one, Uber technologies. Okay, so this one is actually not good news for Uber too, but this one actually is actually, I know it's quite long here, but I hope you guys will read it and absorb it, and then you may explain it to your clients too. Okay, so the next one, when come to the market graph of the Uber, we will look for further downside because it is a falling wedge chart pattern here, and direction will still continue bearish, and the target we will put it as 40 first. Okay, so that's all for the briefing for today and also for this week. So I hope you guys do well and wish you have a good day, and we see you again. Bye bye.